Breaking news, change is in the air in Foxboro, and Patriots Nation is on the brink of a brand new era. Behind-the-scenes moves are heating up, and all eyes are now locked on Maye. Could he be the one to lead the Pats back to NFL glory? Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that like button if you believe the Patriots have what it takes to make a serious run at the Super Bowl in 2025. Your support keeps this passionate community alive and thriving. Now tell me, what are your expectations for Maye this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you believe in this team, type, "Go Pats, I believe." What if I told you the New England Patriots are quietly undergoing the most radical identity shift since the departure of Tom Brady? Not with fanfare, not with blockbuster trades, but with the subtle, deliberate peeling away of the very fabric that once defined the dynasty. That's exactly what's happening under new head coach Mike Vrabel. And make no mistake, the Patriots you remember are being rebuilt, not retooled, from the ground up, in what could be described as a calculated cleansing. Vrabel is ushering in a new era that fans are only just beginning to comprehend. It's not just about young blood. It's about erasing the remaining fingerprints of the Brady-Belichick era. And the most recent casualty, former first-round pick Cole Strange. Yes, the Patriots have officially declined Cole Strange's fifth-year option, a move that felt inevitable to those paying close attention, but still jarring when considering the implications. Drafted 29th overall in 2020 to out of Chattanooga, Strange was a surprise pick from day one. Brett Alper even recalls his raw reaction at the time. Who the hell is this guy? And now, 3 years later, the answer may sadly be just another footnote in a failed transitional chapter. Strange's career trajectory has been marred by injury. His promising rookie year, the only season he played a full 17 games, was followed by a steady decline. A torn patellar tendon changed everything. Imagine having to relearn how to walk, run, jump, rebuild your knee in your entire game. That's where Strange has been. After playing 10 games in 2023 and only 3 in 2024, it's clear the coaching staff, now Vrabel's staff, sees the writing on the wall. With new acquisitions like Will Campbell at left tackle and Garrett Bradbury at center, the only possible starting role for Strange would be left guard, and even that's far from guaranteed. Caden Wallace, Sidey Sow, and Layden Robinson are all competing at that spot. So where does that leave Cole Strange? Most likely as a placeholder in 2025 and a free agent in 2026, if he even makes it through the season. But this isn't just about Strange. This is about the broader trend. Mike Vrabel isn't just trimming the fat, he's cutting straight through the old DNA of this team. And that includes multiple team captains and Super Bowl core veterans in just a few short months. The Patriots have parted ways with cornerstone players like Jonathan Jones and Dietrich Wise Jr., both now with the Commanders. Longtime captains David Andrews, Joe Cardona, and Juwan Bentley have all been released. Think about that for a moment. These aren't just roster adjustments. These are cultural resets. Leaders, locker room voices, gone, all of them. Even veteran defensive tackle Davin Godchaux has requested a trade, with the team's blessing. The message is clear. If you were part of the old guard, you're on notice, and yet one name stands out among the few remaining veterans: Kendrick Bourne. But for how long? Bourne, who was once seen as a key locker room presence and nearly hit 1,000 yards before his 2023 injury, returned in 2024 but didn't look the same. His numbers speak volumes: 28 catches, 300 yards, 1 touchdown. That's not WR1 production. That's not even WR3 production in today's NFL. And now, in a receiving room that's bursting with youth and new energy, Bourne might be the next man out. The Patriots signed Stefon Diggs, who immediately assumes the veteran leadership role. They brought in Mac Hollins. They drafted Kyle Williams. They've got promising second-year receivers like Keishan Boot and Polk. And don't forget Pop Douglas. The truth is, Bourne might not even make it out of training camp. If you're noticing a pattern, you're not alone. For every veteran player brought in, Vrabel adds 2 or 3 younger guys. This isn't an experiment. It's a philosophy, a blueprint. Patriots fans, you are witnessing a rebuild of the most extreme kind. Not just from a talent perspective, but from a cultural and identity standpoint. Mike Vrabel is not interested in nostalgia. He's not here to preserve the past. He's here to build something new, his own dynasty. And just like Dan Quinn has done with the Commanders, to the point where fans barely recognize the roster, Vrabel seems to be steering New England in the same direction. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While Bourne's experience should theoretically give him an edge, especially as the Patriots break in a new offensive system under Josh McDaniels, even that might not be enough. Polk had a rough rookie year, no question, but he has more upside. He's younger, more moldable, and now has a competent OC to guide him. At 29, Bourne might be on the wrong side of this youth movement, and Vrabel has made it abundantly clear he's not afraid to show the door to anyone between the ages of 28 and 33 if he thinks there's more long-term value in a 22-year-old prospect. The bottom line, the New England Patriots of 2025 are not going to resemble the team you grew up cheering for. That might be uncomfortable, it might even be painful, but it's also the dawn of something new, something raw, unfiltered, and unmistakably Vrabel. Now I want to hear from you, Patriots Nation. Do you think the team made the right call declining Cole Strange's fifth-year option? And should Kendrick Bourne still have a spot on this roster heading into the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about where this team is heading. Because whether you like it or not, this isn't just a rebrand, it's a revolution. Because what's unfolding in Foxboro isn't just about players being cut or contracts not being renewed. It's about something far more fundamental. It's about accountability, vision, and an unapologetic shift toward a team that looks, feels, and operates nothing like the Patriots of old. And Mike Vrabel, he's not tiptoeing around anyone's legacy. He's bulldozing through it. Look no further than how this team handled the offensive coordinator situation. Josh McDaniels is back in New England, but make no mistake, this isn't 2011 or 2016. This version of McDaniels is under immense pressure because for the first time in a long time, it's not about patching holes in a high-performing machine. It's about building from scratch, with rookies and second-year players, and without the safety net of experienced, battle-tested veterans. And speaking of rookies, let's talk about Drake Maye. Patriots fans, this is your quarterback. Whether he starts week 1 or week 10, the torch is being passed. The decision to select Maye wasn't just about arm talent, it was a statement. Vrabel and Elliott Wolf aren't interested in quick fixes or reclamation projects. They're committing to youth and upside, and that means living with growing pains. But it also means giving Maye every possible advantage to succeed. The wide receiver group being rebuilt around him is evidence enough. Stefon Diggs brings fire, edge, and experience, but the core, Kyle Williams, Polk, Boot, Douglas, is designed for long-term cohesion with a young QB. Their speed, versatility, and above all, hunger. None of these guys have established themselves as stars, but they all want to be, and that's exactly what Vrabel wants, not names, but ambition. Even in the trenches, you're seeing the same pattern. Veterans are being pushed out, and younger, more athletic linemen are being brought in. Will Campbell could become the bedrock of the offensive line. Garrett Bradbury is a stabilizing force at center, but he's only 29. This isn't about ageism, it's about sustainability. And if you can't contribute at a high level now and 2 years from now, you're out. That's why the Strange decision isn't just one move, it's symbolic. Let's be honest, the old Patriots would have kept Strange around just to maintain continuity and avoid admitting the pick might have been a reach. Not anymore. Vrabel and Wolf are making decisions based on performance and projection, nothing else. Loyalty, sentiment, or he was a first-round pick doesn't carry weight anymore. Produce, or you're done, and that's resonating throughout the locker room. Sources close